What's up guys, it's the Achiever Dad, and this is my top 10 reasons why Crimson Desert is going to be worth playing. It's going to be a little bit different than my normal video. I just want to talk about why I'm so excited about Crimson Desert and kind of the top 10 reasons why I think it's going to be worth getting and why I think it's going to live up to the hype. First things first, I want to make crystal clear, I try not to put games on pedestals, and I would be okay if this game isn't as good as Zelda Breath of the Wild or isn't as good as Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't need a masterpiece in order to be happy, and that takes me to kind of the first reason why I am excited about Crimson Desert, and it's simply the fact that I'm excited to have a new game to play. Just the fact that there's a new IP, that there's a company trying something new, and yes, I understand that it's kind of a branch of Black Desert and is it really a new IP and all that kind of stuff. You can argue that, but I would say it is a new IP. They're trying something that looks really original. It's an action combat game that's based in a massive open world that has a good mix between fantasy and steampunk. Even if the game wasn't the greatest game ever, I would still be excited to play just to experience something new, just to experience some art. And that for sure is the first reason why I'm excited about Crimson Desert and why I think it's going to live up to the hype. Next, the engine looks genuinely impressive. I don't know if you guys have watched any of the videos where people a lot smarter than me kind of do deep dives on the engine itself, but it looks absolutely incredible. This is a custom engine that they have built on their own, and it looks very smooth. It doesn't look glitchy or janky. In fact, the latest gameplay trailer that I've seen from IGN, the combat looks smoother than it ever has before. So I'm really interested in taking a deeper look at the engine that they've created and exploring the world that they've made with it. Number 3, the world looks absolutely massive. When I found out how big the map actually is, my jaw dropped to the floor. It looks like it's like twice the size of the Red Dead Redemption map. I mean, what we saw was covered in the fog of war, but it looks absolutely huge. That is so exciting to me. I mean, that means they must have all kinds of biomes, deserts and mountaintops, and I mean, just exploring alone for me is enough. I love just riding around and looking at every corner and finding caves and doing all that kind of stuff. I mean, just that alone is really, really exciting and cool for me personally. Number 7, I'm excited to play a game that has a good mix of interesting and high stakes quests, but also it just looks like you're going to be doing a bunch of like silly mundane stuff. That's one of the things that really stood out to me with Red Dead Redemption. On one side, you're in this very emotional and impactful event that has to do with the story, and then you're like running around getting hats for people randomly, or you're doing mundane adventures, or you're serving camp companions. I really like that mix of serious and silly quests, especially, I don't know why, for some reason in video games I like silly mundane quests. In one of the videos I watched, it showed him like helping a guy clean out his chimney. Now, I would never want to do that in real life, but for some reason I like doing that in games. It makes the world feel alive. It makes me feel like I'm actually Cliff. And that's just really interesting to me. So I'm interested in the mix between the two types of quests that we're going to be experiencing. Number 6, I am interested to figure out how the 3 character system works. Obviously, we've gotten more details since I originally talked about this, and we have 3 characters. It's Cliff, Damien, and Umka. There's like this orc, and Damien's like this quick, she looks kind of like a rogue-like wizard even, and it's pretty clear that each one can use their own, they're not limited by weapons, and I think they have their own skill trees. And the more I learned about the system, the more I'm excited to see how it actually works. I think it'll be really cool switching between the different players, especially if the world is as big as it feels. Sometimes you may just want to switch over to Umka because you just need a change of combat. You need a change of feeling. And with a game this size, if you're playing the same protagonist over and over and over again, it could get old. And also, I'm not sure how quickly you're going to max out your character with the cubes. That'll be interesting, but what's cool is I think, it's not crystal clear, but I think you have to actually max out all 3 different characters with the cubes. I mean, they keep saying like, oh, there's no leveling, and I keep seeing those comments pop up like, oh, hey, there's no leveling, there's no leveling, there's no leveling, you noob. Like, don't you do any research? There's no leveling. For those of you who don't know, you get cubes. And those cubes, you get skill points that you can increase your stamina, your health, and you can unlock new combat abilities. They don't want to call it leveling, but It seems pretty darn close to leveling in every other game that I've ever heard of. So can we just calm down on the "there's no leveling" comments in my feed, please? Number 5, there's an very interesting dynamic with building out the Greymanes. There's some sort of companion component that looks super cool. I love that, like AFK, your companions, you send them off on missions and you check in on them and see how they're doing, and they're doing things in the world, or they're clearing out strongholds, and they actually have impact on the world. I love that there's something going on kind of on the side that feels like scope and scale, like I'm interacting in the world with more than just Cliff, and I want to see how deep that system actually goes and what it has to offer. Number 4 is the dynamic world systems. One of the things that's really stood out to me is that the NPCs actually look like they are part of the world. There's a living, breathing world. They do things throughout the day. You could interact with almost every single NPC. You can steal from them. There's a combat system. Is it going to be the deepest NPC system of all time? No, I don't think so. There just seems to be something extremely interesting with the engine, the world, the NPCs, the destructive elements. All of that combined seem to create this really interesting world that will be fun and exciting to interact with. Number 3, building out my camp and engaging in the survival systems look really, really cool. I'm super excited to be able to customize and engage and grow my camp. I love that I can customize it. I love that there's survival elements. I like how I can have a farm. Like, that was one of the things I really liked in Red Dead Redemption 2, was engaging in my camp and meeting different companions and going out and hunting. But this looks like it might be even deeper. I can grow my camp. Maybe I can build new buildings. I could expand it. I could make farms. All that stuff looks really, really cool. And the survival elements, so you're chopping down trees and you're looking for resources, and maybe you're gathering plants, and then you bring those back to your camp and you're building new buildings and building farms and food that you would use for cooking. And all that just seems like a really fun side system that I'm excited to engage with and explore. Number 2, the combat system looks insanely fun. One of the things that I've heard about Black Desert, I've never actually played it myself, but one of the things that I've heard is the combat is so much fun. And it'll be cool to see how much they've pulled from that IP and placed in Crimson Desert. And what I've seen from gameplay reveals, the combat just looks really fun to press the buttons. And that's a huge component in these kind of games. The amount of time you're going to be spending in combat, it needs to be fun. A great comparison for this is I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I really, really liked that game, but I got to the point that I was just so bored because the combat was so boring. I just pressed the same button over and over and over and over again, and eventually I was like, I don't want to clear out another camp. I don't want to look for this. It doesn't matter. It just became so boring and lame, I just turned it off. So hopefully the combat is engaging, that it makes you want to keep playing, and that is, again, another benefit of being able to switch between the 3 characters, is maybe their combat styles is just different enough, keeps it interesting and engaging long term. And finally, the most important thing that I'm excited for, that if this was the only thing this game had, I would still love it. That's why I am just 100% sure that I'm going to love this game, and that is the open world. This world looks so exciting to explore. The caves, the puzzles, the systems, the steampunk, the mountain vistas and the range and the beauty and the cities, all of that combined into one. If that was the only system I could engage in and that was all this game was, I would probably still love it. So that's my number 1 reason why I think this is going to be quite possibly my game of the year, and why it's worth playing for you, is because if you like open worlds and you enjoy exploring, this looks to be like one of the best. This is why I loved Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is why I love Red Dead Redemption 2. This is why I love open world games, is because I want to explore every nook and cranny. This looks like one of the best open world games in a very, very long time. So I'm extremely excited. Well guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. That was my top 10 reasons why I'm personally extremely excited for Crimson Desert. Make sure to follow and subscribe on this channel because I'll be posting a ton more content in Crimson Desert. Also find me over on TikTok, where I will be doing a stream-a-thon on March 19th, where I will be introducing the Crimson Curse. Crimson Curse is a wheel that can be spun that will curse me in real life and curse me in game. So I might have to play with oven mitts on, I might have to dress like a pirate, and the other dynamic is what I'm calling the Crimson Reset. With a big enough gift, you can automatically reset 100% of my progress except my story progress. So if this Crimson Reset happens, at that point, I have to delete all my items, delete my weapons, delete my gold, and start over from the point where the Crimson Reset started and continue my journey. Now, I'm not going to start the game over, but everything else gets reset. So follow me on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, where I'll be streaming. I am the Achiever Dad everywhere, and I hope to catch you guys on the next one. I'll see you later.